After more than a year of waiting for justice, a 19-year-old teenager has been found guilty of manslaughter for the death of 15-year-old Romario Opia, who lost his life in North London on January 25, 2021. 15-year-old Romario was known as Rom to his mates, and he was knifed in the chest while walking to a chip shop of all places. The sad thing about the incident is that every single person involved has to take some form of responsibility. Now, when people want to be in a gang, you take on the good, the bad, and the ugly, and sadly, Rom was in a gang despite his young age. And due to that gang life, Romario was stabbed in the chest and left to bleed out on the scene on Holland Walk in Islington, shortly after 5:30 p.m, while his friends and his rivals all ran away, discarding the weapons as they went. As I said, this incident had to do with gang rivalry, and the two teenagers had seen Romario and his mates, and there was animosity. It was clear. Instead of walking away and going their separate ways, both groups of teenagers convened. They talked and shouted and wanted to see who was really about that life, and they all pulled out weapons. But still, Romario was a kid at the end of the day. I mean, he was 15. His days were filled with watching YouTube videos and riding bikes around London. It's clear to say that the incident could have been avoided. Now, what's going to happen is, the 19-year-old teenager, Cameron O'Neill, is going to go to prison. He's going to be in that jailhouse for knifing a 15-year-old teenager. People are going to ask him, what are you in for? And that's going to have to be his response. He's going to be targeted. Now, I do have to say that Cameron and Rom were actually friends at one point, as they were both part of the same gang, before internal conflicts caused the gang to split up. Now, on the night of Rom's death, Rom had been with two mates when they bumped into Cameron and his friends. Both groups, as I said, had weapons, and both groups pulled out said weapons. 19-year-old Cameron O'Neill was found guilty of manslaughter, and his defence was he was acting in self-defence, but he did admit that he was the one who did the stabbing. And also, a 17-year-old who walked around with weapons was found guilty of having said weapons also. Condolences to everyone involved. Stay safe.